Life can sometimes be unfair, knocking you straight in the teeth. Leonard has a first-hand experience of this expression. He was married to Rose and their union blessed with 2 kids. The 10 years they spent together were not all rosy, as he could barely make enough to take care of her and the children. In the 11th year, Rose decided she's had enough of suffering and abandoned the father of her children for greener pastures. She left with the kids. Leonard did make efforts to regain custody of his children after about a year of being alone and was successful. He felt his lonely life would take a better turn through the comfort of living with his kids. Rather than being comforted, things got worse. It was painful for him to admit to himself that he had taken on more than he could handle. This culminated in him leaving his words with Uduak, an acquainted neighbor, for a planned runaway mission.
Good evening.
Good evening, Uncle Leonard.
I need your help. My children.
How about them, please? How may I help you?
I'm ashamed to do this, but they are hungry. We are hungry. Can you help us out with some food?
I really don't have so much.
Not for me, just them. Just them. Anything you give to them, they will share.
Well, I have some rice and stew. I'm sure they can make do with that. Come on.
Thank you very much. I'll come back for them in 1 hour.
Okay.
Thank you.
He was away for close to 6 months, at which time many issues had occurred, including him being reported to the police as a runaway father. The children were still in custody of Uduak when he returned. He apologized to her and made entreaties. Uduak was clearly offended and complained of the difficulties she had to pass through, including police issues.
I was under much pressure. I didn't want to lose my children.
Oh! So that was why you pushed them to me so that I could be held responsible for their death, right?
No, sister. I prayed before I brought them to you.
Pray? Did I hear you say pray? Pray to who? You're wicked and devilish. Please come and take your children out of my house.
Sister Uduak, please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to set you up. I'm sorry, please.
No.
I'm sorry, please.
This is just beyond what I could comprehend. Just carry your children.
Within the 2 weeks Leonard spent around, he was able to pacify her, regularize his issues with the police and an NGO that got involved, and build confidence in all the parties. He successfully traveled back for his trade with a mutual agreement for Uduak to help cater for his children while he sends funds for their upkeep.
Keep to your own end of the bargain. Otherwise, at your return, you will find them in the police custody.
I promise. Make sure you are good to Auntie Uduak, okay? When I return, I'll be back to take us into our house, our new home.
Which home? The one you already rented out?
No. I'm making arrangement for a new home. Okay? All will be well. Okay, bye.
Say bye. Say daddy bye.
A few months down the line, the tide had turned in his favor. He bought a new car and rented a beautiful 3-bedroom flat in a serene environment. He has currently moved his children back into his new home and gotten himself a nanny for them.
What? It's another little prop. Sorry. Come on, Jake.
It's been over 2 years since Rose left Leonard, and he feels he needs the presence of a woman in his life. He is thinking, which is the right way to go? Get back the mother of his children that left him because he couldn't cater for her? Or fight for divorce on the grounds of separation and marry the single lady, Uduak, that stood by him when he was impoverished?
Coming into the marriage as a woman Is it okay to come in with that tabula rasa mind? Your husband is, like Bible calls it, of course, provide for your home. How should a woman come into marriage? Because if she was well backed, well coated, she could have been able to fill up some spaces that we'll find in the playlist we just watched. So I don't know if you understand what I just said, sir.
Well, I want to take these from the perspective of before they went to the marriage.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure that the wife would have seen something in the man. And if they stayed for 10 years, meaning for the 10 years, at the time, the man was providing.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know from his life history or life story if at the time he lost his job or something happened. Now he was unable to cater for the wife. So from my own view, the woman also failed on her part. Like she said, one person should be able to, at least at a point, be contributing. In marriage, it is the man bringing, the woman bringing. That's what makes the marriage to be sweeter. So if the woman is not bringing and the man is the only person bringing, you now see that was where the woman, saw the loophole to say, okay, my husband is no more providing. What do I do? Let me run away. So
the way they managed the decision, she deciding to go in search of greener pasture and all that's involved. 1 year they were away, and then those changes. I want to ask, Ma, please, you would talk on this. How does the management of conflict in the home affect the child, particularly their response to life? Because most times their hopes are, when they keep hearing those things, it kills that enthusiasm in the child, and you need that hope to live. So, Ma, please shed light on that.
It's a man that did not have parental upbringing, bad parental upbringing. Till today, he beats his wife because that was what he saw his father do. He beats his wife, and each time you ask him, why are you doing this? He said, I don't know. When a woman talks, it just reminds me that, a woman should be silent. That is his own upbringing.
Imagine the picture that was formed in that.
Always on him. So, parental upbringing on children, especially in separated homes, there was. When the man brings up a child alone with another woman, in short, the children will either hate men or they will hate women. For the boys, sometimes when they marry, they see their stepmother in the wife. If one attitude she displays resembles that of the stepmother, the man can do everything to kill it. And the lady did not mean it the way he is looking at it.
Okay, it's been a long one. But okay, want to shift a little. From also what we're saying is he left, or they left, because at the time she left, and then at the time the man also left, planning to leave for 1 hour. 1 hour that expanded into 6 months. What's the dangers of leaving your children in the custody of your neighbor? How trusting is that?
Look, if I'm to comment on this issue,
not just on this. I mean, generally.
We'll
Yes,
go
ma'am.
from the specific to the general.
Yes, ma'am.
From the specific, I noticed something, and that thing is that when the man gave the children to the lady, he affirms the power of a lady. Women will have breasts. Women, we are nourishers.
Yeah.
We are the ones that nourish life. He knew that a woman will nourish the children. She will not let them starve, because a woman can do something anyhow for something. And giving the children to Uduak, he must have also observed Uduak for some time. Later told her he prayed when everything is normalized. But he has observed her.
Yeah.
No man would have given his child to a wayward woman.
Yes.
No matter, he would have taken them back, maybe to go and drop at the domot of his wife and ran away. Are you getting it? But he observed Uduak and said, she looks responsible. So he kept there. Maybe he's always here cooking. The stew she's cooking, always sent out, and he has smelled it and said, this one, food is always coming out from that area. The aroma from that area, she can't take. That was why I'm sure he ran away. But it's a risky business he took. Though he said he prayed, so that means to some extent, which I know that is not much. Because if he said he has prayed, the Holy Spirit would have told him to take the children to their mother. They can reconcile. But let's assume that his prayer was also one-sided. He used his permissive will to hear himself to say, take it to other, because pride also is there. A man has this ego in him. Taking the children, bringing them back again to her, to him is finished. So I think that he observed Uduak, but it's dangerous. Those two children taken to somebody that is a witch, she will baptize them with witchcraft. Later in life, you find out the little space you thought you want to use to go and look for greener pasture and come back, you have destroyed the children. She can introduce lesbianism to them at that tender age. And that means you go and fight another battle in life again. So many things. The boy can be introduced to small drugs. Even stealing. That I'm not talking of the drug per se, but leaving our children to strangers and running away for some time.
And some even think that children upkeep has to do with, they are not hungry. When they are not hungry, and then when it's on their head, then they have custody.
No, it
what about
goes
values?
More than that. That's why I said that he must have observed Uduak, that she has good values. That is why, you see, after when he came back, he still kept them with her, because I'm sure the result of the children he saw, he knew that these ones are well taken care of. So I think his action, though not glorifying, but then, he did something wise, that the person he took them to was somebody okay. But if he has done it to another person, some can sell the children. Because he didn't sign an agreement with her. He can package the children, sell them, and also go into thin air. He does not have any evidence that he kept children with her. So it is not good that runaway fathers, please don't do that. Don't just carry your child to give to a stranger. It is better, like, what the world people say, the devil you do. The wife is if you call her a devil in quote, she's somebody that you know, that you can say, okay, if I perish, I perish. If they perish, they perish. It's two of us that have them. They are our seed. So take them and come. You can even do a visitation. Say, let's go and visit mommy. They can just visit, please let me just go and collect something. And you take off from that place, understand? But instead of just taking your children to a total stranger, it's a big risk he took. We just thank God that nothing happened to them.
Okay, wow, it's been hot right here. Okay, but I still want to look at this. I'm not so much convinced yet. What about sir, please talk about this. What about from a Christian home, okay? And then you have this value system, and now the man is thinking of bringing back the wife, that's Mrs. Rose. Is she morally okay, to bring back into this children's life rather, knowing that she left the way she did, and if there were communication line all this while? Okay, I want you to talk about that.
As a minister,
yes, sir,
when we advise if we have to cancel Leonard, first of all, we'll find out from him if legally they were married. If legally they were married, they did traditional marriage, they went to church, they were blessed, and they went to court, registry to register the marriage. If they had these three things done and they didn't divorce, what we'll do, we'll advise him to speak with the mother of the children. Because marrying another woman in future, problems may come. Because the woman you see today that does not have a child for you, once the woman starts getting children for you, the ball game will change. the woman may tend to love her own children more than this other one that she was bringing up before. Now she didn't have any no attachment. Now she has a newborn baby. And she has children for you. So there will be a kind of conflict between her own children with these other children. So she will not treat their own children before the old ones are the way she will be treating her own children. So we advise, go back, speak to, take away pride, throw away everything. Forgive your wife. There is room for forgiveness. God said we should forgive. So forgive her and bring her, discuss, sit down with her, plan your life with her.
Okay, how long can this be? How long can this? Is there a time where it's too long to go back?
No. We have seen 22 years
Yes.
separation. We have seen 25 years. They came back.
Wow.
After the children, some of them, we all had opportunity. The children were marrying. That is, children for 25 years separation.
Wow.
The children, the daughter now got married and they came together. That was when they came back.
Yes.
God can do anything. That's the truth. There's no woman that is bad and that there's no man that is bad. All we need to do is, in a home, all we need is understanding, communication and understanding.
Okay, since you were still on this matter, I want you to still talk about this. Divorce. A lot of persons, okay, fine, scripture says, God says, I hate separation, I hate putting away, I hate divorce. And then, a lot of women are dying in silence. Like, they're extreme of these cases. Okay, they're extreme of this case. They're extreme of the cases where they are so battered, but for fear of this, I heard of a case recently, that was December, yes. The man beat the woman to the point of death. She actually died in the hospital a week later. So where should be the striking point? Where, I don't know, okay, we're leaving this clip for a while. Let's look at this. Separation. How should the woman speak? Where should it get to? What should happen? Okay, some speak of temporary separation. Not like you're divorcing, but then it's not working. You always call, let's just be away first. How safe is that? Let's look around this.
Okay. The truth of the matter is this, and the Bible does not encourage us to divorce.
Yeah.
There's no room for divorce. The only case where Jesus spoke about divorce was if fornication and adultery, if anyone is caught, the woman could ask for divorce, that the man is in cause of infidelity. Now, if God does not allow us to divorce, then we also will not want to ask people to go on divorce. Okay. But if that extreme case whereby there is beating, battering, what we can, like you said, what we can do is ask for a separation for a while and let the man, then we'll pray about it. The woman should be praying, the man should be praying also, and things, before you know it, things will change. Okay. Because sometimes these things happen because of maturity. Yeah. Some men are not matured. Some men, they went into marriage, like she said, with mindset of, this is how my father was beating my mother. Okay. Until you remove that notion, that mindset from the man, if he goes into marriage, that's what he was doing. Yeah. But when you now give a room for them to separate, don't stay alone or stay with your friends, then this man is out, then they can ask, okay, we will pray. And God answers the prayers. The man could not say of the truth, this is my wife, there's no point beating her.
Should there be a time for this separation? Because sometimes
it depends on, it depends on the individual. If the man has not changed, the man must change first.
Of course.
The man must change, and the man must prove that he has changed first before you now say, okay, they should come together. You settle them and let them come together.
Okay.
If I'm just to have on that, there are madmen living in homes, having psychiatric problem. Yeah. There are people, just that, like we go and check for HIV, blood group during marriage. Very soon we'll be checking for psychiatric cases. Yes, you will go there, they will check if you are normal. There are so many abnormal people that entered marriage. When they are in the church, you think that they are good people. You see the guy quiet. You do know that he has psychiatric problem. That's his quietness. Are you getting it? So it is when he enters marriage, the woman will be seeing some kind of thing, and she now say, what? She'll be bearing it. Like, Proverbs always tell us now, a good woman will build her home in Proverbs 14. So she'll be bearing it and say, a good woman, wise woman builds her home. Meanwhile, the man has psychiatric problem, which cannot be wished away.
She's building it.
So, not knowing that, this man, when he beats her, he forgets she's a wife. No man in his right senses will beat his wife. Not the one of say, she talks to me, let me slap her. Do you understand what I'm saying? He beats his wife, until the woman is collapsing. And you think that man doesn't have a psychiatric problem. He does. So we are looking at facts. Maybe some of the environmental problems are beginning to bring madness into homes. Economical problems. The man, you are not having money does not mean that you should transfer everything. Aggression to your wife. Depression to your wife. It's not fair. So I think in our churches we begin to talk about it, so that people coming into marriage relationship, the man and the woman will go for tests to show that at the point of entry to marriage, both of them are psychologically fit to marry, so that we will not have situations where we see these things that we are no longer. It was not pertinent before in marriages. But these days we are seeing more. With exposure, we are even seeing more. That means there is issues to be done.
Okay, wow. She did almost want to stop her. I couldn't even stop her. I was always shaking my head. I couldn't stop her. Okay, we'll go on that short break. And when we come back, we'll be concluding this. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Wow, it's been a hot one here. Well, we're about landing off. Okay, so I want you to give this young man, if there are people like that in such shoes, what would be your suggestion? What should be your advice for them? It's caught between two, Uduak or going back to the former wife. What do you think he should do?
I will advise that he goes back to the former wife and make amends. Whatever cases, whatever situation that would have happened. I
think that's from a pastoral point of view. Okay, Mom, please, I just want to talk on this. What do you think he should do?
What I will advise Leonard is that the best thing he should do, like our pastor have said, he should go back to the first love. His wife is the first love, and in the book of Malachi, I said, don't you ever joke with that first love. That first love, the wife of your youth. The wife that knew him for 10 years, that saw him is everything, you should go back to her. Now that the life is living is better, you should go and bring that woman to live this better life, because she has lived the other suffer life. If he wants to be fair, you should go back and bring her to live this better life. Let her cruise the car with him and stop trekking. She must have trekked in her life. But now God has blessed him. You should go and bring her so that the family is complete. Nobody will feel as peace. Nobody. And himself, whoever he thinks he wants to marry, he will be living a life of comparison. He will be comparing. Rose did this, you like to do this. Uduak will not do this. Rose would like to do. He will live in confusion. So the best thing he should do to himself, if he loves himself, is that he should go back and bring Rose, and both of them can go and see their pastor, pray, and start a new life, and the children will be happier.
Okay, what if she doesn't want to come back? Is there a possibility of that?
There is a possibility that she might not want to come back. Okay. But from what we are just 2 years, I'm sure she has not married. Because if it's something of 5 years running, I would have said, maybe so many things are passed under the bridge. But now I'm sure the water is still flowing in the bridge. Thank you so much.
Wow, our guests have been the best. Sir, thank you for being with us on this program. And Ma, thank you very, very, very much. Your input has gone a long way to help lives. We're grateful. Thank you. And viewers out there, I want to say thank you for watching, and you can follow us on our social media stream on the screen: Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. You can follow us there and leave your comments there and your questions. And please do not forget to tune in to get more and more decision-making process helps on how to get it done. Thank you very much. And I remain your host, Abigail Inutal.